is through the national office, we had a conference call and sensing sessions with the veterans. And one of the things that we were discussing is, it's like any other thing, how do you recruit? You know, a lot of times that is the key question. We have everything in place once we get them. Once we get them, it's no problem. But sometimes the million-dollar question is, how do we get them? And that was one of the things that we really wanted to tackle. And what we did, we had a group of our veterans, actually it was every one of them that we had at that time, and MPNF, which does a lot of the, you might be familiar with, there's a lot of the marketing material for Job Corps nationally. They arrived on our center, they shot live video and interviews with each and every one of the cadets that we have. And then they did them, hey, this is Earl C. Clements. Instead of just being a generic information about, well, this is what Job Corps looks like, we're showing exactly where you're going to be looks like. You know, they was taking the pictures right from the dorm where they're at to really make it personal, give them a good idea of what it's going to be like once they arrive on our center. So we're actively doing things like that to try to reach out. And we've already talked about the TAP workshops. We have outreach and admission counselors that go to the TAP workshops, our outreach and admission counselors going to ACAP, giving briefings. And all of us have been to ACAP before. We remember how that is. How much of it do you remember though, literally? I don't know about y'all, but when I went through ACAP, I really don't remember much. If we had a really good video that we could present, probably remember that. And so we're trying to get a video like that to ACAP to show. Because we all know we will remember more of what we see than just what we listen to. Any other questions? Yes.
Al, tell them about basically your efforts with the Guard. I noticed that Linda was talking about the Guards, and now you guys actually have some Guardsmen at the Academy?
We do. That was one of the new one of the new hurdles I just had to cross the other day. And this is an awesome opportunity, and I just don't do the vets on the Academy. I'm a military instructor, so my biggest job on the center is I prepare people, young people, to get physically, mentally ready to go into the military. So I'm doing that most of the day, but then the rest, when I'm not doing that with those, I'm done with the people who've already been there and done that. And one of the students that we just have that arrived on our center, he's probably been there about 5 weeks now, is an active, he's at the Kentucky National Guard. His home unit is in Frankfort. Well, he arrived on center, so obviously I meet all the incoming veterans as they arrive on center, and one of the first things he said is, I'm in the Kentucky National Guard. I'm like, that's awesome, that's great. Where do you drill? Frankfort. Oh no, Frankfort, that's a long ways from Morganfield. So I'm immediately thinking transportation issues, but I knew that we had to take care of this young man. You know, he needs his retirement points, he needs his pay, he needs all those things. So long story short is we immediately got on the phone with I got on the phone with the sergeant major, and then through the first sergeant, we arranged everything to where this young man can drill. If any of you are familiar with the Wendell H. Ford training facility, which is located in Greenville, Kentucky. We got his drill set up in Greenville. He was a 42 Alpha, which is personnel, human resources. So, and then we've got his AT already set for him. He's going to get his AT knocked out right there in Greenville. Oh, excuse me, if you're not familiar with AT, that's his annual training, which a National Guardsman or a reservist, they're required to attend 2 weeks annual training each year, and we have that set for that individual. So again, you know, we can if you are out there and if you run across someone that's AGR or they're in the Kentucky National Guard or the reserves, we can still work with them to help them while they come to our training. We have an outstanding center. We have a transportation department. You know, we can make things happen. And we'll be more than willing to do that. And what we're looking at is, and I'm not speaking for the center on this, I'm speaking on my behalf of what I look at. I'm an optimist. I look at the bright side of everything. And I try my best to do that with everything that's going on. There's no reason to get riled up about it. But for every vet student that we have on that center, that's one more positive role model. That's one more positive mentor that we have on that center. And as we all know, one of the most important things for any youth, I don't care if you're talking about veterans or non-veterans, is positive role models. Someone that can really be there to mentor. And the more veterans that we can have on our center, not only are we helping the veteran by giving them the training that they need, but that veteran very possibly is going to help that other student to become better, which becomes a win-win situation for everybody that's involved with it. Yes?
Tell me out. I got to jump in here. Disabled veterans, big population. What does Job Corps do for the disabled?
The disabled veterans are treated exactly the same as any student. We do have the facilities that are set up for disabled veterans. That is for a physically disabled. When I was talking about the facilities as far as additional handicap areas, and we've already talked about the last 2 days, you know, the PTSD, in today's veterans, most of the veterans, you can't see the disability. They may have the disability, but you don't see it. We coordinate with, and this is something that we actually spent quite a bit of time on about 10 days ago, because we're still going to coordinate through the different veterans, the VA hospitals. We have one of our vets right now that's on set that the only place he can be treated is St. Louis. He can have some appointments in Evansville, Indiana, but one of the appointments he has to go to, the closest we can get, is St. Louis. So once again, regardless of what the disability may be, what the need may be on the behalf of that student, we're still going to accommodate them. And we also, going off that one more time, we have our own wellness center that's located on our Job Corps, which they can handle the meds. We have our own team of psychological, everything that we need for the ones that do not absolutely have to go off to a VA hospital.